Every business needs money to grow. You are looking for funding? Obviously, that's why you're here. Every founder has a dream to get funded. Just like fairy tale, there is a picture in the mind of founder, they got funded and lived happily ever after. This glorious startup dream has launched at least 1 million startups. From Facebook to Airbnb, from Dropbox to Joule Labs, which has $15 billion in disclosed equity funding. The fairy tale story of billion-dollar startup seems to be everywhere. In fact, the link between funding and startup success seems so ubiquitous that many startup founders get into a rat race of chasing investors without any hesitation. The classic million-dollar question is where to raise funds or remain bootstrapped. To answer this question, we have to work out the relationship between startup funding and tremendous growth that funded companies have achieved. Let's dig deep into the world and startup funding. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel startuplanes.com. I am More Tanvi and today's video is regarding how to get funding for a startup. So let's start with the basic question that what is bootstrapping? Before we move ahead, we should understand bootstrapping. It is a self-starting process when you build your startup from your own funds without any external funding support. You rely upon your own capital and the cash generated from the customer through the sale of products and services offered by your startup. In today's video, I would be answering questions like, do you need external funding? Is it funding a prerequisite for success of your startup? Why do startups raise funds? Many founders ask this question from us, whether they need funding when their business is doing good. We always tell them that money is never enough while you are growing. You need more of it. There are 4 basic categories of resources that every business needs to generate value of its customer. The resources are, the first is physical. Your business might need raw material, office, vehicle, storage facility, machines, computers and communication devices. The next thing is human. People are the most important resources for any business. As your physical resources won't work on themselves, even most of the advanced AI computer needs to be programmed and operated by humans. The next is intellectual. Your business needs intellectual resources like patent, brand, process system, copyright, partnership, data, and technical expertise. The next thing is financial. This money either in form of hard cash, deposit in your bank or credit. The other 3 resources come with the 4th resource. It is clear that your business needs money to get all the resources. Simply put, a business can't do anything and won't amount to much at all without money. The money will come from the 3 sources: capital by co-founder, revenue, and external funds. Now you need external funds for the rapid growth because your capital and revenue will be limited in the initial period of starting your startup. This external funding can be divided into 3 basic categories. The first is debt. This is the money that comes in the form of a loan. You have to return this money after adding some more money to it as an interest or a fixed fee. The benefit of debt funding is that you don't lose any company's equity, that is ownership, but the downside is that you have to return this money, that too more than the amount you have taken. Next is equity. This is the money that you don't have to return because this comes in exchange for the ownership of the company to a certain percentage. The investor will take a percentage of your company as their equity share for giving their money and taking risks. The last thing is grant. This is the money that you don't have to return. Also, you don't have to give your company equity in exchange for this money. This money is absolutely tension-free, that is awarded by the government or any organization to support the innovation of the impact generated by your startup to the society by solving the problems of the masses. The investors may invest in your startup in one of the above forms or a mix of all. It could be pure debt, pure equity, pure grant, or a hybrid investment that has some money as debt, some as equity, and some money as a grant. With this, the question arises, why do you need funding? These are several benefits of raising funds. We have divided into 5 basic categories. The first is scale rapidly. More money speeds up the entire process of growth. Your startup can scale up rapidly with the infusion of fresh funds. The next is gain credibility. Funding is proof that your startup is trusted by the investors. It proves that your business model is good, your startup has a great offering for its customers, it generates value, and it can scale up rapidly. The next is connections. Investors don't come alone. They bring in their connections. Your startup needs connections with the influencers, corporate decision makers, other investors, people in government, and customers. Investors often refer your startup in their network, which gives you startup a quick boost. The next thing is mentorship and guidance. Experienced investors also offer their mentorship and expert advice to the founder for the growth of their startup. Investors want their money to grow. They do everything to guide, support, and make your startup successful. The next thing is flexibility and freedom. When it's not your own money, you have the flexibility to take more risk in spending. You get the freedom to use the money the way you want. Imagine the situation where you have broken your fixed deposit in the bank to fund your business. You may be afraid to spend in that case, but the external money raised from investors gives you the courage and confidence to spend it without any fear. With this, the question arises that is funding a prerequisite for success of your startup? The answer is no. Funding is not the prerequisite for the success of your startup. There are few startups which has never raised external funding from angel investor or venture capitalist. Shutterstock is a great example. Shutterstock by John Oringer, a software developer and amateur photographer in the year 2003. John said, "I funded it myself. That's because I started out by my own need for a product that didn't exist." But there is a catch. Shutterstock raised $76.5 billion through its IPO. It was the first ever New York tech firm to go public in 2 years and raise a huge amount, more than expectations of the market experts. Whether it is Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Tesla, or Netflix, every big company has raised funds to become big. You may raise initially through pre-seed or seed funding round, or in the mid through A, B, C, D, E series, or through an IPO. In short, you have to raise funds for scaling up your company. Now with this, the question arises, will raising funds solve all the problems? No. But funding will solve most of the problems, as most of your problems can be solved through sufficient supply of money. Let's list few such problems and solutions quickly. No customer. Spend more in marketing to acquire customers. The next thing is no staff. Pay good salaries to the attracted, talented staff. The next thing is no awareness. Start brand awareness campaign to establish brands. The next thing that can be done with money is no material. Pay your suppliers for high quality material. No advice. Pay to the industry experts and mentors to advise you regularly. Too much stress. Hire a good team and delegate your work. No time for yourself. Build systems and processes, engage a good team, and save a lot of personal time for yourself. Money is numbers and numbers that never ends. If money makes you happy, your search for money should never end, because you need to be happy forever. Moving forward with the video, I would be answering now the very important question of this video, that how to raise funds for your startup. You can easily raise funds after watching this video. So watch the video till the end and you will be able to raise funds as many times as you want. We have divided the process into 5 basic steps for you. The first is understanding the fund requirement. Then it's preparation of documents, eligibility check. Then comes searching for investors. Then the last step is applying for funding. Now I will explain the categories in details. So the first question is, how much funding does your startup needs? This is a question that will never have a definite answer unless you attach a time period to it. Your funding requirement will depend upon the following factors. The first is future expenses. Make a list of all the future expenses like website, app, digital marketing, staff salary, etc. The next round of funding. Plan the next round of funding. You should have enough funds to reach the next round of funding on time. The next is revenue. Estimate sales, cost, expenses, and payment delay from business customers, your own lags paying your vendors, and what will you need in inventory. The next is profit margin. Your profit margin will define the amount that you can utilize from your revenue for your own expenses. Rest of the money will go out for the cost of raw materials or inputs. The next is expansion plan. Calculate the fund requirements for your expansion plan like new office, retail outlet, app or machinery. Growth rate. The growth rate of your company will affect the need of funding. A fast growth rate will demand more funds to fuel this growth. Valuation. Your valuation affects the requirements of your funding. Remember, you can't raise more than 35% of your company's valuation, as may lead to loss of control over the company. In case of an equity-based raise, an ideal raise should be between 8 to 15% of equity during the initial round of funding. Add your future expenses and deduct the amount as per your profit margin from it to get the amount of money required for the expenses. You may consider a period between 6 to 18 months for the next round of the funding. This will depend upon the growth rate and the expansion plan. Now put everything together to find how much funds you will need. The next is reality check number 1. Make sure you take all the numbers from reliable sources while you depict your expenses. For example, run a small digital marketing campaign to understand how many leads you get for how much money. What is the conversion rate of those leads? So let me tell you, you will need few documents before the fundraise and few documents after the raising fund. This could be divided into two basic categories, that is before the funding and after the funding. So before funding you need pitch deck, financial projection, wireframes, valuation, capitalization table. Now after the funding you need the documents such as term sheet. Then you require is shareholders agreement, allotment letter, share certificate. Now how to check eligibility for your startup? Moving ahead, I would be answering the question that how to check the eligibility of your startup. You can easily check the eligibility of your startup by the following steps which I will mention now. The first is incorporation. You should have a private limited company that can issue share to the investors for equity based funding. It is most preferred legal structure by the investors. Even the debt-based investors prefer this. The next is active co-founder. A private limited company should have minimum 2 directors. These 2 directors should be actively involved as co-founders in this company. Now, if you have mentioned a family member or a friend for the sake of incorporation, that it will not be preferred by the investors. The next thing is problem. Your startup should solve the problem of the masses and it should be a real problem, not a made-up problem by the founder. Then solution. The solution offered by the startup should be commercially viable and technically feasible. It should deliver value effectively and efficiently to the customers in solving their problems. The next is business model. An asset-light business model that offers subscription-based services is most preferred by the investors. For instance, B2B SaaS-based startup top the list of the investors. The next is traction. You should have a good number of active users at your website or a smartphone app along with a minimum of 1 lakh downloads. Next is scalability. The business should be highly scalable. There should not be scalability challenges like the requirement of buildings, machinery, etc. Market size. The market size must be huge. There should be potential demand in the entire world for your product or services. Investors avoid proposals that offer solution to limited market size. The next is industry. Your startup should be placed in a high growth industry. Product. There should be a defined technology based product, like for most of the startups, their smartphone app is the product. Taxi is not the product of Uber. Similarly, hotels is not the product of OYO. Their product is the app, website which facilitates the service. A core service offering like website designing won't be suitable for an investor. Disruption. Make sure your product or services are offered at a lower price in comparison to your competitors without compromising on the quality. Also, there should be more convenience for your customer in comparison with your competitors. Growth rate. Your startup should be growing every month, every week, every day on the basis of traction and revenue. Investors don't want to invest in a startup that is falling down in terms of growth. Competition. You should have competitors and market leaders while you approach investors to raise funds. This ensures that there is a valid market and a high market share capture by your competitors, then you can shift your startup to disruption. Investors generally don't prefer startups that create the market for any product or service. Team. You should have a good, efficient and active team, preferably at least 5 salaried employees. Founders can't do everything. Having salaried employees depict the stability and growth of the startup in future. Now, the paying customers. Approaching the investors without having a paying customers won't be a good idea. Either you should have customers who are already paying for your startup or product and services, or they should be ready to pay in future. Reoccurring customers. Your customers should come back to you instead of approaching your competitors. Referrals. Your customers should refer you to their network. Revenue. Revenue is an extremely important factor upon which an investor decides whether you will get funded or not. Social media reviews. Be careful of your social media reviews before you approach funding. Technology. You should have the latest cutting-edge technology utilized for your startup. Technology brings inefficiency. Intellectual property. It will be a great value add to your funding if you have a patent for your product or process and a trademark for your brand name. Valuation. A fair valuation is important while you approach investors to raise funds. Now, as this is a basic introductory video, I would be telling you how much funds can you raise. The amount of funds that you should raise will depend upon the stage of your startup. We have divided this into 5 stages. The first is concept. This is the time when you only have an idea in your mind. You may have an existing team to execute this idea. At this stage, you have to prepare a proof of concept, that POC, to demonstrate that your idea can be converted into a commodity. In order to raise funds at this stage, you need to have a proven track record so that the investors feel comfortable in betting on your idea. You may have an excellent track record of developing such products, or you may have to pass out from one of the best educational institutes in the world. If you don't have any of the two, then your product must be a great invention that can change the world. The next is product ready. It is the time when you are ready with a product. You have to test the product in a test group of consumers and ask for their feedback or testimonials. It is best that you include experts in the same field so that they can clarify and certify that the product is workable. For instance, you may launch an app in the AI plus healthcare segment. In such cases, you should get it used by AI technology experts and healthcare experts such as doctors. If they feel that the product is good, then it is easy for you to convince potential investors. The next stage is early traction. It is a stage when you have initial traction for your startup. You may not have to pay customers. However, they are using your products or services. For example, you may have a smartphone app that has 50,000 downloads and 30,000 active users. This shows that the consumers are using it. You can monetize it later. You can raise funds at this stage. Show Google Analytics to potential investors to prove your point. The next is revenue. It is important that you are able to sell your products to actual customers and consumers at a price. If they are paying you for your products or services offered, then it validates the market and proves that you have customers who will buy. This is a good time to raise funds. You can convince the investors that you need money to scale up the operation. The next stage is growth. This is the time when your startup starts growing rapidly. You may not necessarily have revenue. However, at this point, you must have huge traction. This is the time when you go for second round of funding, as you are supposed to raise the funds in the first round already. Now, this is a fund table. Please look at this funding table very carefully. And small piece of advice is, please mention your stage while you pitch to the investment banking team of Startup Lanes. Now, the next question that I would be answering is, what are the different types of investors? As startups generally don't have collateral for the purpose of a mortgage by a bank and other financial institutes, we'll be covering only the investors who provide you collateral-free funding. The next are the 5 broad categories of investors. The first is friends, family and fools, that is FFF. These are the people in your close networks who trust you. They are your friends, family members, and some people who trust you blindly. This funding will be based upon your reputation. Raising funds from FFF will definitely build the trust and confidence of the other investors upon you. They fund your startup just to support you. However, if the investment returns well, then it's cherry on the top of a cake. The next is angel investors. They are the high net worth individuals who have surplus money to park for 5 to 7 years in the hope of high returns. They will not invest to support you. Therefore, don't make the mistake of asking for funds from them when your startup is not doing well. The next are venture capitalists, that is VCs. VCs are the financial organization having public money to invest in high-risk, high-growth startups. This type of funding generally comes after the angel funding at a stable revenue stage. The next is private equity. These are the financial institutes having the objective of investing a big ticket at a stage before the IPO, but after the VC funding is done. There is no hard and fast rule for VC funding here. However, it is better to approach a PE after raising funds from VC a couple of times. The next is government and NGOs. The government and many NGOs also fund the startup through grants. Now, the best part of this funding is that you don't have to return this money. But the worst part is you have very few chances to getting this kind of funding. Now the question arises that how to search for investors. Searching for investors can be easy, as well as a complicated task that will require a persistent approach. It will depend upon how you execute this task. We have listed this in 5 methods for you to easily find the investors. The first is references. You can connect your friends and family members who have raised funds from the external investors in the past. They can personally introduce you to the investors. It works like a magic. The investors who you meet through personal references take a keen interest into your startup and they give you proper time and attention. In the case you don't have such friends and family members, then you can take a gold membership of Startup Lanes to build your network. The next is search VCs. You can get the list of all the VCs in India from us. It is a complete list of all the VC firms in India that you can use to find relevant VCs for your startup. You can visit the website of VC to find out which general partner, that is GP or investment associate, is looking after your segment or industry. You should only approach the VC team member who specializes in your segment. Do not make the mistake of randomly sending your pitch deck to any VC. The next is social media. You can connect with the investors on social media like LinkedIn and Twitter, where you can find the investors and start engaging with them over their posts through comments. You may send them a connection request after they become familiar with you through the comment that you post. Now, the next is statutory fillings. Keep a track of all the startups that you have raised funds and prepare a list of startups similar to you or in the same industry or segment. You can download the documents that they have filed for compliance with the law, extract the shareholding structure and name of investors. Then you can find those investors at social media or connect with them through references. The next is angel networks. The angel network registers people who have spare money to invest as their member. You can approach the 2 angel investors of Startup Lanes. The first is NRI angels, high network individuals from outside India, including the PIOs and NRIs. The next is SL angels, the angel network for India-based investors. Now I know this video is little elongated, but this is the only video on internet which gives you whole knowledge of how to get funding for a startup. Now, the next question is that who will do the job of finding investors? Searching for investors and raising funds is a full-time job that should be allocated to a full-time member in the team. You should not engage yourself in the complicated and time-consuming job, as you have to focus upon building your startup. If you do this job, then you won't be able to focus on the growth of the startup that will eventually hamper your funding. You can allocate this task to 2 co-founders in the team in case you have 4 or more co-founders. However, if you have 3 or 2 co-founders, then the best way is to hire 2 new employees in the team for this job. You need a person who is good in data extraction and research and one person who is confident, soft-spoken, with positive attitude and good command over communication skills in English. Generally, these two members can be hired for a CTC between 8 to 12 lakh per annum totally, if premier institutes are not your priority. Other option is to utilize the investment banking services of Startup Lanes. We have a large team of investment bankers who are expert in raising funds for startup. We have our data-driven system and processes that are made especially for the purpose of raising funds. We help you prepare for funding without charging any fee. It is completely free to pitch to our team. However, before that, you have to make sure that your pitch deck is in the correct format. I have also made a video where you know how to make a correct format pitch deck. So you can go through the video on our channel. Funding seems to be easy, right? Getting funding for a startup. But no. If you are wondering that it is very easy for raise funds, then you might be wrong. It is a complex process that is handled by our experienced team who have the background of raising. The global estimates are that only 3% of eligible startups get shortlisted by the investors for consideration and due diligence. This makes our work very difficult. We can't take up all the startups in our kitty. In fact, we have to dig deep and understand the startup completely before taking it to advisory to ensure maximum success rate. Fundraising can sometimes seem confusing, very scary. However, you don't have to worry. Leave it on us. It is our specialization. We have been in the business of investment banking for a long time. You can apply for funding now. However, you need to check few things before you go forward. The first is check. Make sure that you have a pitch deck as per our guidelines of the pitch deck. Double check. Please confirm that your pitch deck confirms our standards. You will not be able to apply in next 6 months in case the pitch deck is not as per our standards. The third is triple check. Make sure that you are ready to raise funds before you apply for the funding. You should read the article completely and pitch deck article before you apply. All the important links are given in the description. Now click on the link which is given in the description for free pitching. If you have done above 3 checks, then yes, I want to pitch Startup Lanes team. This message you have to text us. Please be ready with the pitch deck after you apply to pitch. Now, thank you for watching this video. If you want to know more about us, please visit our website called startuplanes.com. Also, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram. Thank you.